Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. So, this week in this weekly prep, we will take a look at, of course, the price action from last week. A lot of stuff, a lot of level that we were looking for were tagged pretty early in the week, and the forecast was really in line with what happened. Also, we will take a look at the economic calendar for the upcoming week, and we will finish with a forecast for the week for this week. So first of all, everybody on Twitter and on social media was pretty bearish with the sell-off from last Friday. I told you in the weekly prep last week that I'm not necessarily leaning into this scenario. One candle, two candle, 1 week doesn't make a market. So what I told you last week, if we take a look at H1, the main focus was on two scenario. If we open with a big gap down, I told you wait for the gap to be reclaimed to look for longs. And if we go up first, it was the best scenario possible. I told you to take a look at the FVG from 2 p.m. on Friday. So this was the framework for the week. And if we look at the reaction around him, first of all, I called a short here for around 200 points. When we reclaimed it, we hold it here, offer a pop, retest it, offer a higher high here, and when we sell back under it, that's when I really love the shorts. So we see we just tagged the previous week low, who were the first focus, this low. And I also told you that if we want lower in the daily FEG, we need to print a wick at this level. So 28,246 was the level I told you. And we literally called the low of the week with this week. So the market was then fully efficient, and we can expect higher prices from there. So that's what the market does. We also came here, retested just shy of this low, and then we reclaim the FEG and gap up on Sunday that we will talk about later. Pretty much the same with the S&P 500. If you take a look at H1, the main focus was previous week low. One small difference with NASDAQ, you see here on the opening on Sunday, last Sunday, of course, we just wick the previous week low and then rally higher high, sell off into those level. Maybe a less cleaner on ES, but NASDAQ was really nice. If we take a look at DXY on the US dollar, um, we we consolidate pretty much all week long, so nothing to show here. First, we hold that. We tried to expand higher without success, and we sell back into the range. The VIX, I told you a lot of information about the VIX. The vol is pretty important during the summer. So yes, the big pop on the VIX, everyone saw that and say, "Oh yeah, VIX start to pump, so the market will go down." But it's not it's not that way. The vol work, especially during the summer. So I told you that spike on the vol was not necessarily bearish. And we saw last week the vol was not able to expand over 20. And then we crushed back down. That caused the rally back up in the index. So that's it for the quick review. If we take a look at this week, it's a pretty cool week again with the FOMC meeting Wednesday. But let's take a look at the full economic calendar. Pretty quiet on Monday, same for Tuesday. We are aware of the FOMC meeting with the new Fed chair on Wednesday, 2 p.m. So that's the most important news this week. Of course, be cautious to trade maybe the morning of the FOMC, during the morning of the FOMC, but also the day before. So my main focus this week will be after the FOMC. And we have a pretty quiet Thursday too, and Friday it's a bank holiday, so it's not a day I will look for. I will look to trade. Now, if we take a look at the forecast for this week, and to be honest, it's a pretty easy week in my opinion. And the word easy not is not meaning that it will be easy to make money, but it will be easy to just wait to see specific thing before engaging anything in the price action. So if we take a look at the monthly chart, we'll start with that. We have to be aware of the monthly opening price on June. So you see big down candle, nice retracement, and then we are back near the opening price of the month. So and we are about half of the month. So if we expand and this candle start to accelerate on the upside, green candle, I think we can have another leg of expansion. You know, I'm not bearish in this market, especially during the summer, low vol compression, stair step up market. I think it's what we will see in the upcoming months. So be aware of this candle on the monthly chart. If we go back on the daily chart, we have now a deal with Iran. The deal is pretty much catastrophic for the US, to be honest. It's about everything that Trump told us is not realizing, is not in the deal. So it's not a good deal, but the market loved that. I don't think, or I will be very cautious this week if we have other news about that. But be aware that at the moment, the market loved that, and we print a big gap up on Sunday. So my focus, if we go, nothing to show on the 1 hour chart, to be honest. We are aware of the all-time high. We are near that. It will be the target, of course. But I want to show you the 1 hour chart for more information. So first of all, my main focus will be on two zone, okay? This one here around 30, and we have the rollover on the futures contract, so it's an UPEX week. Be aware that we are now trading the September contract. So the first zone will be here around 30,700. It's the first focus for me this week on the upside. And on the downside, I would like to see 30,400 to be touched. So it will be we have to focus on where we want to go first. So if we want to go lower first, maybe this morning, I will take a look at how we react here. I would love to long this level for a continuation higher into the zone I just told you. If we go up first, don't necessarily completely ignore the fact that we can maybe sell the news. It's not what I'm expecting, but with the UPEX week and the VIX expiration on Wednesday, maybe if we can't expand higher from here and we maybe start to turn on Wednesday on VIX expiration, maybe we can see lower price. But my job again, sorry, the fuck is that? But again, my job is not to call the exact turning points, but the x-axis will told us the story. So if we cannot see any lower price after the VIX expiration, for me, I think we are good to follow through on the upside, to have a continuation higher. So that's not really a level I will look at, but I will look at Wednesday, how we react Wednesday morning after the open. If we can spike higher, maybe we can even see a new all-time high and then turn back down. But before saying, okay, it's a good short, to be honest, we need to see some expansion below this level. So until we do that, it's not very bearish. And of course, if we then expand under 30,400 and then we just smash into the weekly opening gap, of course, this is pretty bearish, and now we can maybe focusing on 29,000. So that's it for the NASDAQ. If we take a look at the ES, pretty much the same. We have a block overhead here. it's the same. Where we want to go first. If we want to go lower first, I would like to see support around 75, 70, 75, 70. So if we can offer support here, maybe looking for long into the block, and we have unfinished business just shy of the all-time high around 76.88. So that would be my main focus on the upside. If we expand under that, now we can focusing on weekly opening gap, and then if we flip the opening gap, of course the short side would be pretty nice, to be honest. If we can, there's really nothing to show here, so we can expect some speed under the opening gap if we failed it, but it's not what I am expecting for this week. So that's it. If we take a look at DXY, it's really important to see that the gap here, until we reclaim this gap, I don't like any higher price on US dollars. So I don't like anything. Yes, this is a pretty nice rejection, but like I said, everything with the deal and the Middle East situation can flip this script pretty quickly. So until we lost this low, I think we can just sideway action. I think we will slide lower this week, but until we see expansion below that, I don't love anything. VIX, take a look at the VIX. Of course, it's important to see if we want to lose those lows. If the vol continue to be crushed like we saw last week, don't try to short this market. You will get, you will. We will probably see a lot of hard sell with no continuation and a grind back up for probably all summer long, and it's already started. So be cautious on the short side, even if it makes no sense that we continue to grind higher, but the market is the market, and you don't want to try to be smarter than the market. So that's it for the VIX. Look at the yields. Of course, we are around 4.5, 4.4. Be sure to take a look at the yields, the reaction on the 10 years after the FOMC this week. It will be interesting to see where we want to go after the first Fed meeting by the new chairman. So that's it. It's pretty much it. Maybe take a look at the Dow. I think the Dow this morning can be a nice play for a break of the all-time highs. So we are near it, but I think it's a nice scalp possible after the open at 9:30. So that's it for the prep. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to come try to trade with us in the Discord, we are live every single day. The link is in the description. Have a good week and see you next week.